If two investments own the same companies, why do they have a different look and different costs from each other? Today, I'm going to explain that difference. I'm going to give you a lens so that you can choose the right one with confidence. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to Making Better Sense. My name is Marco. I'm a licensed agent here in the province of Ontario, and I am very passionate about personal finances. My goal is to ensure that every Canadian becomes financially literate so that we can build wealth and leave something better to those that come after us. Standard disclaimers that this is not financial advice. This is meant for educational purposes so that we can all learn together. Financial advice should only be given after you've completed a financial needs analysis and an investor risk profile assessment. Those are very important things. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Think club membership versus a club membership with VIP upgrades. One gives you just simple access, amenities. The other gives you those same access and amenities plus a VIP upgrade. That's the difference between a mutual fund and a segregated fund. So in today's episode, we're gonna talk about, well, what is a fund, to start us off right at the very beginning, as well as those differences between a mutual fund and a segregated fund. What are those VIP club accesses that we're talking about? What is a simple guide to understanding what the implications are to you in your life? And I'm also going to give you a very quick decision-making guide that you can use in order to choose the right fund for yourselves. What is a fund? A fund is a pooled ownership basket of different companies or bonds. Many investors pitch in and a professional team goes out and buys a mix of companies or bonds to put into the fund. So you are able to purchase units or shares in these funds. And this is going to give you diversity and a professional management team without you having to go out and pick each individual company you want to invest in. Think of funds as scoops of ice cream in a bowl. They come in so many different flavors, depends on what your tastes are. So you can have such funds that are specialized in Canadian investments, US investments, global investments. You can have funds that specialize in bonds, in dividend, in growth, and the list goes on. There's a flavor out there to suit everybody's investment needs. A mutual fund is the club membership, and you're a member through the security rules. You get access to the investment club, the facilities, or rather the holdings, as well as the professional staff, also known as the fund managers. A segregated fund is a club membership plus a VIP upgrade. So it gives you the same club amenities, but through an insurance contract and under insurance rule. And it provides you with contract level beneficiary as well as insurance style guarantees. Think of it this way, with a basic club membership, such as a plain, non-registered mutual fund, you can't just pass it off to anybody when you pass away or when you die. It has to go back through the front desk, or rather in this case, the estate. Whereas a segregated fund, you can name who's gonna get your membership once you pass away. It's like putting them on a guest list, so it doesn't have to go through your estate. Those segregated funds can go directly to them. A non-registered mutual fund, you can't normally name a beneficiary to them. They flow right back into the estate. If you have a mutual fund that's part of a registered plan, like an RRSP, RRIF, or TFSA, you can name a beneficiary at the plan level. Whereas with a segregated fund, it doesn't matter whether it's registered or non-registered. You can name a beneficiary bypassing your estate. A really cool VIP feature of a segregated fund is what's called a guarantee of investments. What this means is that you are guaranteed a certain minimum of your investment if the market were to fall. And they usually come at either a 75% guarantee or a 100% guarantee. It depends on the scenario, it depends on the fund, it depends how you're registering it. We're going to talk about the 75% guarantee because that is going to be the most common one you're going to see. What that simply means is that if you've invested $10,000 and you were to pass away, if the value of your investments drops below $7,500, so if when you pass away, your funds are now worth only $6,000, your beneficiaries are guaranteed that minimum 75%, which is $7,500. So it's a really great way to protect your investment in case of unforeseen market disturbances. Another really cool feature tied to that guarantee is what's called a reset. So that $10,000 is your floor. So what this reset does is it increases the guarantee of that floor. It upgrades your floor. So if that same $10,000 after a number of years doubles and becomes $20,000, in a segregated fund contract, you can request a reset and set that floor at $20,000, which means at 75% guarantee, you are now guaranteed a minimum of $15,000 should we go through a bad year and you pass away and the value of your funds drop below $15,000. So it's a really great way of guaranteeing that investments for your beneficiaries. It's one of the best VIP features of a segregated fund contract. There is no free lunch. Having a cool club with all of these VIP features like a named beneficiary, guarantee, or resets naturally costs a little bit more. Both mutual funds and segregated funds have what's called a management expense ratio, or MER, or we call them MERS. But segregated funds offering all of these cool features have a slightly higher MER to cover the cost of these really cool features for customers. You don't get a separate bill for it. It's built into the daily expense of running the fund. That's how the fund managers get paid, and they put a little bit of money aside to run these really cool VIP features. The cost reality check is that you need to remember that for every 1% of an MER, that's $10 for every $1,000. Now, usually segregated funds are 1 or 2%, on average, higher than their mutual fund equivalent. Now, some are more, some are a lot less, roughly. So you need to be able to weigh out the cost benefits between the VIP features and what they bring your plan. If you think of it this way, the segregated funds have that ongoing cost versus probate that's just a one-time cost. Let's put together a quick decision guide for you. When we take a look at that basic club membership of a mutual fund, what you're going to get is you're going to get the lowest possible cost to access that investment basket. And if you're fine with how it naturally flows through the estate, or you have a registered plan like an RRSP, RRIF, or a TFSA, then a mutual fund is great. As well as if you're not interested in accessing those VIP features like the guarantee, and you don't need those guarantees, mutual fund will serve you well. But with a segregated fund, if you want that club membership with the added VIP features, if you want that contract level beneficiary, if you want those guarantees, if you want those resets, and you don't mind that your MER is slightly higher than a mutual fund, then a segregated fund is really what you should be going for. I want to address the two most frequently asked questions I would get at this point. And the top question I always get is, well, do mutual funds and segregated funds invest in the same things and the same stuff? And quite often the answer is yes. Fund providers will have a mutual fund and a segregated fund equivalent. Many times they'll have the same managers, the same team, and the same mandates for both. The difference is is that slight price. Now, what's the difference? People are gonna say, well, the difference is the wrapper, it's the rules that we have to follow, and it's in the paperwork, and of course, that slightly higher management expense ratio. Here's the truth. Whether you go to a basic club with basic amenities, or you go to a club with lots of VIP features and VIP upgrades, both clubs will get you to your fitness goal. So whether you pick mutual funds, which is your basic membership, or you pick segregated funds, which is your club membership and the VIPs, both will help you get to your financial goals. That's actually not what's important. What's important is that you take action today, that on every pay cycle, you take a little bit of money away, whether it's $50 per pay, $100 per pay, it doesn't matter. You just have to do it. You have to go to that club every day. You have to put money away every pay cycle. And that's the most important part. The rest is your choice. You can either have a mutual fund, which has that low cost, or maybe you feel more comfortable having that named beneficiary, the guarantees, and the resets. That's up to you. So if you have questions, put them in the comments. There's going to be folks like you that want to ask a question, and most likely the question that you want to ask, somebody else wants to know. So put them in the comments. Don't be afraid to reach out. If you have questions, you can reach out to me personally, especially if you're in the province of Ontario. I can help you. If you're outside of the province of Ontario, let me know where you are, and I can pair you up with someone in your area to speak with you and to help present options for you. That's it for this week. Let's make better sense together. If you want to understand insurance made simple, click this video up here. But if you want to learn about financial risk, click this one.